Nagaan isiniif haa ta'u maatii YouTube keenya kan taatan hundumtuu barattoonni keenya akkasumas immoo namoonni biraan kan viidiyoo kana dhaggeeffatanii akkam ooltanii nagaan isiniif haa ta'u jedha. Guyyaa har'aatti Microeconomics II keessa chapter 3 pricing of factors of production and income distribution kan jedhu isiniif qabadheen jira. Kabajamtoota jaallatamtoota barattoota koo kan taatan hundumaa bakka jirtanitti yuunivarsiitii adda addaa kan jirtan biyyattii keessas ta'e kan biyya alaa jirtan hundumtinu viidiyoo kana yeroo dhaggeeffattan pricing of factors of production and income distribution kan jedhu kana sirriitti akka hordoftan akka battan barbaada. Kanaafuu in the previous class we discussed about different market structures. Again, how to maximize profits in the different product markets. Now this factor pricing is also similar with that of market of goods and services. The difference is not this much. So as there is a perfectly competitive market in the goods and services, there is also a perfectly competitive market in factor markets. Lamaan wasaa gidduu garaagartummaa nama tokkotti amma kanatti hin jiru waan ta'eef mee in ilaalla. The difference lays that government policies market structuring factor price keessatti affecti kan godhantu jiru. Isaan kun government intervention ta'uu danda'a, trade union ta'uu danda'a, business firms. Isaan kun they play an important role in the determination of the demand and the supply of factors of production. Demand and the supply of factors of production affect or determine kan godhan government policy jira, trade union, business firms, and these are the factors that plays a great role in the demand and the supply of factors of production. As you know, there are different factors of production. There are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Some factors of production there is a payment for these different factors of production. Factors of production payment in kan jiru fakkeenyaaf land rent, for labor wage, for capital interest, and for entrepreneurship profit kanadha jechuudha. Payment isaanii kan mukisa kan isaan kaffalamu jechuudha. Bifa kanaan maqaan illee waamamaa fi yookiis immoo the price for these different factors of production. Factor pricing in a perfectly competitive market. Perfectly competitive market akkamittiin factorin pricing isaa akkamitti kan determine ta'u karaa lama laalla. Inni kun when there is only factors of production. The other is when there are several factors of or variable factors. Yoo factors of production keessatti tokko duwwaa fayyadamnaa fi yookiin immoo baay'ee yoo fayyadamna ta'e bifa kanaatiin let's come to the first one. Demand for a single variable factor by a firm. Single variable firmii of fayyadamna for a firmii of fayyadamna ta'e yookiin firmiin tokko yookiin producerin tokko single variable fayyadama yoo ta'e assumption inni jiru kan armaan gadii. The first is a single commodity is produced in a perfectly competitive market. There is a single commodity which implies price is given for all firms in the market. The price of the output is constant in the price inside. Which price? The price of the output. Fakkeenyaaf output yoggaa jennu inputii walitti finnee outputii tokko bu'aa kan nuti argannu jechuudha. Price isaa fixed dha. Perfectly competitive market waan ta'eef the sellers are price takers, not price makers. Individual firms are price takers kan jedhuti fudhanna jechuudha. Inni lammaffaan the goal of the firm is profit maximizing. The goal of any firm is maximizing the profit. The goal of a consumer is maximizing their utility. Isa kana economic decision making keessatti ilaalleerra. Economic decision making firm, the other consumer, and the government. Isaan kun economic decision makers jedhamaniitu waamamu. So the objective or the goal of the firm is to maximize their profit. Kan faana wal qabate single variable factor labor perfectly competitive. The price of labor to the individual firm is perfectly elastic. That means the cost of the labor, that means wage, is constant. Now, at this constant, a firm can hear an infinite number of labor or units of labor. At the going market wage rate, the firm can employ or hear any amount of labor it wants to hear. Therefore, wage is equal to marginal cost. Marginal cost in most, that means the slope of total cost. So the graph for this, the supply of labor is it is perfectly elastic. At a fixed wage or a rigid wage rate, the supply of labor is equal to the marginal cost. Marginal cost is the derivative of total cost. That means that it's the slope of total cost. Kanafi isa kana horizontally perfectly elastic jedhameetu waamama. Wage is given, labor. At fixed wage, any firm can employ an infinite number of labor. Technology is fixed. Now, based on that, the demand for labor can be determined. The product function, on the other hand, it is a function of a labor. As our assumption is there is only one factor in production function. The slope of the production function is marginal physical of a labor, MPPY, slope total product in kana jara. Total product in kana yo argama ta'efi asirratti as you know, the red one. Here we have the total product, and this is a curve. Now, on this curve, we have the slope of total product. That total product is marginal physical product of labor. So price times marginal physical product of a labor is value of marginal product. Value of marginal product in more value of marginal product in minus the slope of total physical product times the price. We know total revenue is price times output. The price is fixed. So the change in output with respect to the labor input, we get marginal physical product. So marginal physical product times price gives us value of marginal product. The value of the marginal product. Here, in other words, the equilibrium condition for profit maximizing firm in labor market is marginal cost is equal to value of marginal product. Marginal cost is equal to wage rate. So in this case, with a using of one factor production, the demand for labor is this one. It is downward sloping. That means the value of marginal product of a labor, which is equal to price of output times marginal physical product of a labor. This is the demand curve. So in using one factors of production, the demand for a labor is the value of marginal product. The kanafegama inputting Kenya tokkuma duwa factors of production kesa inputi tokko yokin mo laboring qofa fayyadamna yoo taane the demand for labor in Kenya maal ta'e argama the value of marginal physical product of a laboring the demand for labor jedhameetu argama jechuudha. The demand for labor that maximize profit can be determined by two ways. Demand of laboring kun immoo akkuma jenne now the price or the price of the factors of production is determined by the interaction of demand and the supply of factors of production generally. The interaction of demand and the supply in a perfectly competitive market assumption that is it is determined in case of the demand it is determined by two ways: total revenue and the total cost difference approach, and the other is which is equal to value of marginal product approaches. In this case, here is the curve. You can see this one. You can understand this A to B. A to B is a straight line that is tangent to this the production function. Again, you can look at this total cost curve. Total cost curve is a straight line. This straight line total cost is parallel to AB line, that is the slope of total revenue. Therefore, in mathematics, as you know, when two lines are parallel, they have equal slopes. This is the theory. Line lama parallelly walii taanaan slope isaanii wal qixaa jedha herreega keessatti. Kanaafuu AB fi total costing kun parallelly line isaan walii isaanii jechuudha. Parallelly waan ta'aniif AB line slope isaa fi the total cost slope equally ta'u jechuudha. Karaa gara biraa the slope of total revenue means marginal revenue product. The marginal revenue product is the value of marginal product is equal to the slope of total cost is marginal cost. So the slope of total revenue equal to the slope of total cost. This means marginal revenue product is equal to marginal cost. It is the profit maximizing point. The marginal revenue product or value of marginal product approach. This means at this from this table you can graph you can see L star. This L star is the point at which or a lever input or the unit of a lever that maximizes the profit of the firm. So at that point marginal cost is equal to wage, and the value of marginal product is that or marginal revenue product is equal to marginal cost or wage. The relationship between marginal revenue product and the value of marginal product can be mathematically calculated like this. Calculation can allow marginal revenue product the change in total revenue with respect to change in level. Yo argamate siniif jedhama or kanatin redeemnu kana change in total revenue with respect to change in level equal to the change in P times total revenue means P price of the output times output derivative with respect to change in level. Price is constant, we said. Since there is a constant, now the varying variable is only Q. The change in Q over the change in L. Price times change in Q with respect to change in L means marginal physical product of labor times price is equal to value of marginal product. Again, the marginal cost here is change in total cost over change in labor. Now change in W, L over change in L. W is wage, L is labor, and change in L. W is fixed, that means wage is fixed, so the variable is only labor. Change in labor with respect to change in L is equal to wage. Therefore, alternatively, you can also calculate the profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. The difference of total revenue and the total cost is a profit. Total revenue is price times output, and output is a function of a labor. Total cost is wage times labor. This is the condition for profit maximization is profit is equal to price times Q, that means total revenue, minus wage times labor, that is total costs. So price times marginal physical product, that means value of marginal product, minus wage is equal to 0. This is the marginal approaches to calculate the profit maximizing level of the firms in using the level. Being a profit maximizer, a firm will hear a factor as long as it adds more total revenue than total cost. Marginal revenue greater than marginal cost yote labor by nui akanuti dabalee qaxarru nu gargaara jechuudha. Marginal revenue yo marginal cost agadi ta'e immoo labor akanuti hir'isnu jechuudha fayyadamu keessatti. Kanaafu profit maximizing leveling keenya marginal cost is equal to value of marginal product ta'uu isaati jechuudha. Kanaaf yoomiyyuu waan isin dagachuu hin qabne in determination of factor pricing under the demand and the supply of pricing of the factors of production. Now, in using a single variable input, the profit maximizing level for a firm is marginal cost should be equal to the wage. This is or marginal cost is equal to the wage. That means marginal cost means wage. That means So profit maximizing level is value of marginal product should be equal to the wage. Kana beeku qabna. Graafin keenya immoo kana jechuudha. Graafota kana beeku qabna la. Graafonni kun wagein vertical irra jira, laboring horizontal irra jira. The supply of laboring wage da. That means marginal cost. Again, the demand for labor is value of marginal product. So the demand for labor in using single variable input is downward sloping. That is equal to value of marginal product. So the profit maximizing level is the point at which now this L star is intersecting with that of W star. W star in L star ifan dot intersect wal godhan kun profit maximizing level ida. Asirratti wanti nuti hubannu when value of marginal product is greater than wage and when wage is greater than the value of marginal product. Mal to ta'ala. When you go from L star to the right hand side, wage is greater than the value of marginal product. But when we move from L star, profit maximizing point of L star, to the left side, the wage is greater than the value of marginal product. Wage is greater than value of marginal product means in order to maximize the profit, the firm can increase profits by hiring additional units of labor. Wage value of marginal product to the left hand side Yota ATV, profit increase kan nuti gonu, labor double heal gochuudhaan yookiis immoo qaxaruudhaan. To the right hand side immoo yoo deemne wage is greater than the value of marginal product. This indicates that to come the profit maximizing, the firm should decrease healing of the labor. Kanaaf wage value of marginal product iti oli ala yoo ta'e labor qaxaruu kana yookiis immoo the unit of labor decrease gochuu qaba. Yoo wage immoo value of marginal product gadi ta'e karaa bitaa jechaadha. Yoo gadi ta'e maal gochuu qabna? Profit keenya increase gochuuf additional units of labor increase gochuu qabna jechuudha. Kana nutti agarsiisa graafiin kuni asirraati teebilii kana ilaaluu dandeenya. Labor input in jira, total product in jira, the marginal physical product in jira, the price of the output constant 555, the marginal revenue product or value of marginal product in more marginal physical product times the price is a nofida, wage is fixed 20 rand. So the profit maximizing approach is the point at which total revenue minus total cost is maximum, or marginal revenue is equal, marginal value product is equal to marginal cost. Marginal costing Kenya wage marginal costing wage marginal revenue product token mo value of marginal product in Kenya mo kunoti digdamni walketa digdama kanatara maximum profit in Kenya ibalama fi total revenue Kenya ibalama furtamishani, total costing Kenya ibaba furtama. Then the difference between total revenue and the total cost, the maximum is 105. So at 7 units of labor, profit is maximized for the firm kanjeruda jechuudha. Inni kan biraan teebilii makanarraati yeroo ilaallu teebiliin kun waa baay'ee nutti hima jechuudha. Teebiliin amma nuti ilaalle kuni kun waa baay'ee nutti hima. Marginal value of product in costing, marginal costing is jira, profit is jira waan ta'eef asumarraati waa baay'ee hubachuu dandeenya. Dhumarratti teebilicha bifa kanaatiinis the point at which wage intersects the value of marginal product is the profit maximizing level of the firm. So 7 units of labor is profit maximizing kan jedhuutiin kanaatiin achiin ogaa jechaadha. Kanaafi kabajamtoonni barattoonni asirratti kan nuti isin ilaaluu qabdan pricing of factors production by using a single variable kan jedhudha. Hangammaatti kan nuti ilaalu. A single variable qofa yoo fayyadamne asii single variable laborii fayyadamne. Kanaatiifi profit maximizing level for firmin criterion isaa marginal cost yookiin immoo wage is equal to the value of marginal product yookiin immoo marginal revenue product faana wal qixa ta'uu jechuudha. Ammas irra deebi'amee kan isin beekuu qabdan single variable input fayyadamna yoo ta'u the demand curve for labor is value of marginal product. The supply curve is perfectly elastic. It is a wage is equal to supply of labor is equal to marginal cost is equal to wage. Inni kun immoo the supply of labor dha jechuudha. Supply of labor wage dha. Demand of labor immoo value of marginal product dha. Iddoo lamaan kun supply of labor fi demand of labor intersect wal godhan it is equilibrium jenna, market equilibrium jenna. The market structure keessatti market equilibrium ilaalle turre. Factor pricing keessattis immoo equilibrium kun yookiis immoo profit maximizing leveling keenya the point at which marginal cost intersected the value of marginal product ta'uu kana akka daganne jechuudha. Inni kun ammas irra deebi'anii maa barattoonni keenya akka hin dogoggorree fi the pricing of factors under a single use of the variable input. Single variable input yoo fayyadamna ta'e criteria hangammaa kanatti ilaalamaa jira. Several variable input yoo fayyadamna ta'e immoo maaltu dhufaadha? Amma ammaatti laborii duwwaa laalle. Amma immoo laborii biratti capitalii fayyadamuu dandeenya. Kan biraa factors of production fayyadamuu dandeenya. Demand maal fakkaataa isa jiru? Demand of a firm for several variable inputs. When there are more than one variable factors of production, the value of marginal product is not its demand curve. Kanaaf amma kan ani isinitti himuu barbaadu several variable input fayyadamna yoo taane the demand of factors of production value of marginal product ta'uu hin danda'u. Demanding jechuudha. Kanaafu demanding murteessuudhaaf asirratti value of marginal product hin ta'u. Sababoonni jiru. The reason is that the various resources are used simultaneously in the production of goods. Resource adda addaa fayyadamna waan ta'eef resourceonni adda addaa immoo value pricing isaanii garagara. Hamma fakkeenyaaf han laborii wage fudhanneef. Han capitalii immoo interest ta'a. Han land immoo rent ta'a. Kanaaf resourceonni kun resourceota garagaraa pricing isaaniis garagara. Value of marginal product akkasa single variable kana value of marginal product as a demand fayyadamuun nuti dandeenyee fi priceonni garagara waan ta'aniiti fidachaa. Kanaafi pricing isa tokko change yoo ta'u kan isa biraa immoo akkasumas immoo change ta'uu danda'a. For example, if there is a decrease in wage, now firms may hear or employ increasing of labor and decreasing the use of the capital. Substitute wal gochuu danda'a. Hallee wagein gadi xiqqaatee hallee barii immoo xiqqaanne yoo ta'e firmisoonni maal godhu jechuudha yookiin produceroonni maal godhu laborii baay'ee employ godhanii capitalii immoo xiqqoo fayyadamuu danda'u. Jijjiirama fida marginal productivity irratti rakkoo fida marginal product of laboring decrease ta'a. Ammas immoo kan biraa marginal product of capital irrattis immoo kan biraa fiduu danda'a jechuudha. Yookiin immoo capitalii xiqqoo fayyadamnee laborii baay'ee akka nuti fayyadamnu nu godha. Kan akkasii change yoo gaatu. A change in the implement of other factor in turns shift the marginal physical product curve for of the input whose price is initially changed. Kanaafuu yoggaa kun ta'u capitalii fi laborii amma fakkeenyaa asirratti fudhanneerra. Yeroo akkasii kana maaltu ta'a? Waan sadiitu uumama. Tokko substitution effect, inni lammaffaa output effect, inni sadaffaan immoo profit maximizing effect. Mee asirratti teebilii kana haa ilaallu. Isaan kun ISO cost jedhamaniitu waamamu. Straight line kun jechuudha. Straight line kun yeroo isaan ISO cost warra inputota yookiin immoo capitalii fi laborii nuti fayyadamu. One line is ISO cost for capital, the other line is ISO cost for labor. Now the slope of the ISO cost is wage divided by the price of labor, that means wage divided by the price of the capital, that is interest. Slope isani ta'a jechuudha. Slope isani kana waggaa itti ta'u kanatti assume the wage rate fails. Amma asirratti wage rate fail ta'a. Fail yoo taate asii initially assumption Kenya irra haa suppose the firm initially produces the profit maximizing level of output. Profit maximizing level of output at a point graphic kanarratti kan agartan jechaadha. Asirratti profit maximizing output now ISO cost is tangent to the ISO quant. Q1 is ISO quant 1. Kanaaf achirratti produce godhaanna using the combination with K1 and L1. L1 fi K1 fayyadame. K1 is here and L1 is here. Combining these two inputs, the firm produces at point A that ISO profit maximizing the point, and the slope of the ISO quant is the ratio W1 over I1 defines the slope of the ISO cost line EF. Let's assume that the wage rate fails to W2. Wage in mo yero inni kufu yokis mo gadi yogabu graphi ishee kana E2F kana graphi haaraa gadi nu dhufa jechuudha. Yoggaa sanatti ta'u inni jalqabaa original isaa E2G dha ture. Amma gaa yeroo price of wage yokin mo wage fail yoggaa godhu new ISO cost is E2F. Now in this case, due to the failing of the wage fail, now they become use less amount of the capital and more amount of the labor. K1 irra gara K star itti gadi dhufa. L1 irra mo L1 star itti dhufeetu at B point itti produce godhu jechuudha. Wage 2, the new ISO cost line become EF. The firm using the same expenditure can now produce a higher level of output given by Q3 using K2 and L3. Higher output oomishu kan isaan danda'an immoo at Q3. Q3 here at C point. C point in output dhaga. Input in keenya immoo L2 fi K2 dhachaadha. Now Q3 using K2 and L2. K2 and L2. Amma maaltu ta'e wage yeroo gadi bu'u maaltu ta'e purchasing power isaanii ol guddataa jechuudha kan firmota. Purchasing ability isaanii yeroo ol guddatu laborii itti dabala, capitalii itti dabala jechuudha. Humna dandeettii waa bituu waa qaxaruu isaaniitu dabala jechuudha karaa gara biraa output yeroo dabaluufi. The new equilibrium is given by point C. Point C irratti equilibrium new equilibrium asirratti argama jechuudha. Q3 immoo oomishama jechuudha. The movement from A to C. The movement from A to C. Asirratti kan nuti ilaallu from A to C. From A to C. Maaltu ta'edha? A to C irratti can be broken into two parties. That is the substitution effect and output effect. A to C kun maaltu ta'a? Sorry. Ifama. A to C yeroo oomishamu A'n addana jira, C'n addana kana jira. Waan iddoo lamatti qoodamu. Innis the substitution effect and the output effect itti uumama jechuudha. The substitution effect and output effect. The movement from A to B. From A to B immoo A kunooti B kana. A to B kun substitution effect dha. A to C kun immoo output effect dha. A to B belong to the original ISO quant represents the substitution effect. To understand this movement, we construct an ISO cost line DJ. DJ kun immoo kunooti isa D2G. Isa kana D2 F star kana G dogoran ta'edha. Colour diimaatiin isa line in bahe kana jechaadha. DG known as the compensated ISO cost line. The compensated ISO cost line. Sababni isaa ammaddanadha. Diin kun as jirti. New line kuni from A to B the same line irra jiru addananni kunis achumarratti slope insani tokko waan ta'eef asimo B nismo isumarra waan ta'eef compensated. That means we substituted labor for capital. Substitution of labor for capital. This is compensated isocost line. It has the following two characteristics. It is the parallel to the new isocost and thus represented the new input price ratio. It is tangent to the old iso quantity 1 and thus makes the original input affordable. The movement from A to B is therefore pure substitution of labor for capital as a result of a decrease in the relative price of labor. This implies that the firm substitutes the cheaper labor for the relative expensive capital. Amma relatively capital fi labor wal cina yo ilalle laborin cheapida capital more expensive ida kanafu capital isetu firmin kun gara laborin shift akani godho ki substitute akani godho taasise jira from L1 to L1 star while that of capital decreases from K1 to capital K1 star. The movement will occur if the intervenor will restrict to the original level of output at the new input price ratio. The movement from B to C to the other hand, on the other hand, represents the output effect. Amma garma graphic chart from B to C, I mean from B to C. This from A to C, from A to B, from A to B substitution effect, from B to C it is output effect. Then the movement from C to D more profit maximizing effect jedhameetu waamama jechuudha. Kanaaf effectiin dogo guddaa lamatu jira jechuudha. Substitution effect, output effect, profit maximizing effect. Kanaaf substitution effectiin effectii maal qaba? Output effect fi profit maximizing effect immoo marginal physical productive on the value of marginal productive irratti effectii maal qabu kan jedhu isa kana beekuudha qabna jechuudha. Due to the increase when wage rate falls, the marginal cost of production is reduced for every level of the output. Therefore, the firm will increase its expenditure in order to maximize its profit in a perfectly competitive market. Due to increase in expenditure, the ISO cost line EF star must shift outwards parallel at a distance corresponding to the increase in the firm's total expenditure to JJ. That means at the point D. The final equilibrium of the firm will then be denoted by the point of tangency of the new ISO cost line JJ with the new ISO quantity Q4 at point D. That is profit maximizing effect jedhameetu waamama jechuudha. Haa ta'uti profit maximizing effect in how should a decrease in the price of one factor affect the marginal physical product or value of marginal product? Akkamitti affect godhani? Tokko substitution effect kan nuti ilaallu jechuudha. Given the substitution, output and the profit maximization effect kana sadan jijjiiramni isaanii decrease in wage akkamittiin marginal physical productive value of marginal product irratti effect godhataadha. Tokko yoo ilaalle the substitution effect. Substitution effect if a decrease in the wage rate tends to increase the employment of labor but reduces that of capital. Kanaaf substitution effect means we substitute labor for a capital because of the decrease in wage rate, and this causes reducing employment of the capital. Therefore, there is a small amount of capital with which there is high labor combined for production. Labor in baay'eedha, capital in motiqqachaa dhufa jechuudha. Kanaaf labor in baay'ee yoggaa ta'u marginal physical product immoo decrease akkanni ta'uu godhaadha. That is the substitution effect tends to shift the marginal physical product and the value of marginal product curves inwards or to the left. Kanaaf amma substitution effect marginal physical product fi value of marginal product inward shift akkanni ta'uu godhaadha. Karaa gara biraa output effect fi profit maximizing effect immoo resulting sama increase employment of both inputs. Nama tokkotiin it increases the employment of labor and capital. That means K1 to gara K2, L1 gara L2. Akkasumas immoo at the profit maximizing level of from A to C, from C to D ni nuti ilaalle, especially from C, B to C and from C to D curvature irratti kan nuti ilaalle it is output effect and the profit maximizing effect. Isaan kun immoo maaliin effect isaan qaban output effect fi profit maximizing effect achirratti nuti argine kun marginal physical product fi value of marginal product to the right shift akka isaan godhan. The net effect is that the output and profit maximizing effect, the output effect and is maximizing effect more than offset the substitution effect. Net effect is output if profit maximizing more offset than substitution effect. Therefore, FL in the wage rate shifts the marginal product as well as value of product to the right when several variable factors are used in the production process. Now, FL in the wage rate in failure shifts the marginal physical product value of marginal product to the right when several variable factors are used in the production. Kana beekuu qabna barattoonni egaa bakka jirtanitti warri kana dhaggeeffattan hundumtinuu marginal physical product fi value of marginal product maal akka inni ta'ee beekuudha qabdu. Several variable factor keessatti yeroo fayyadamnu marginal physical product fi value of marginal product gara right shift ta'u yoo single variable input yookiin substitution effect immoo marginal value marginal physical product to the left shift akka inni ta'u godha. That means the impact of substitution effect the net effect in sagaru value of marginal product marginal physical product shift to the right graphic kana asirratti ilaalu dandeessu. Graphic kana irratti kan nuti ilaalu the shift in the value marginal product can be shown as follows from A value marginal product 1 value marginal product 2 value marginal product C wage yeroo fail ta'a deemu wage fail yeroo ta'u value of marginal product from left to right irraa gara B irraati gara C akkamitti akka inni shift ta'u wage yeroo xiqqaachaa deemu wage yeroo dabalaa deemu gara right akka inni shift ta'udha. Let P1 and P2 be the original and the new commodities price respectively. Thus value of marginal product 1 is equal to P times MP1 and the value of marginal product 2 P2 times MP2. P1 is less than P2, value of marginal product 1 less than value of marginal product 2 for the decrease in the price of an input. Kan jedhuun illee akka kanaatti agarsiifama jechuudha. Irra deebitanii ammasii dubbisuu qabdu yoo gaaffii jiraates yoo gaafattan ibsa isinii kennuun danda'ama. For different wage rate one can generate a series point of such as A, B, C, expansion paths, DIRREE, a series of points or a locus of points that connects different profit maximizing level. That means the point at which ISO cost 1 is tangent to ISO quant 1 and the different profit maximizing level of firm that connects these different points is expansion path graphic DIRREE ilaalle irratti jechuudha. The locus of this point defines the demand for labor by the firm when several firms are variable. The long run demand for a factor is negatively sloped. In the short run, almost it is negatively sloped. Again, in the long run, the demand for labor is also negatively sloped. This you can look this one. It is the demand for labor is negatively sloped on the line. That means demand of labor is this negatively sloped demand of labor. The value of marginal product at different points it tells us about the movement of value of marginal product of the labor from left to the right. The balance of the three effects, that means substitution effect, output effect, and the profit maximizing effect. Change must cause quantity demanded to vary inversely with the price. Thus, the long run demand curve is more elastic than the demand curve for a single variable input short run demand curve. That means akkuma masirratti ilaalle jechaadha long running multiple variable input fayyadamna yoo taane demand curve isaanii more elastic than the short run or single using variable input, that means value of marginal product of labor. In the short run, the demand curve for a labor is value of marginal product, but for that of the long run, using different or multiple factors of production is not a value of marginal product. The other is determinant of demand for productive resources. Kara garabra kanut ilalu. Determinants of demand for productive resources. Demand for productive resources is what are the determinants? In your micro one, we discussed about the determinants of demand. There are different determinants of demand. Price determinant and non-price determinant jenne bakka lamatti qoodne ilaalle turre. As gara factors of production irratti yoo dhufne ilaallu immoo akkasuma jechuudha. The price determinant fi non-price determinant dhaan ilaaluun illee ni dandeenya. Price means the price of input itself. So these determinants are one, the price of the input by itself. As price of input and the demand for input, they are negatively related. The other is the price of output. When the price of output increase and the demand for input also increases, that means they are positively related. The marginal physical product of the factor. The demand for factors of production and marginal physical product. When marginal physical product of a factor increases, that means additional production of a factor increases, the demand for factors of production also increases. So they are positively related. The other is the amount of the other factors combined with labor. Labor ifana combined kan ta'an fakkeenya fertilizer ta'uu danda'a, kan biraas ta'uu danda'a. The amount of the other factors, when the amount of the other factors combined with labor increase, the demand for other labor or other factors also increases. They are positively related. The other is technological progress. This first increases the marginal physical product of an input and thus increases the demand for labor. Kakanatti isaan kana sirriitti beekuu qabna barattoonni bakka jirtanitti warri dhaggeeffattan warri hordoftan kun determinants of demand for productive resources kun maal akka isaan ta'an kana ilaaluu qabna. Wal bukkee kan qabdan the demand for determinants of demand kanaan dura market strategy keessatti kan nuti ilaalle akkuma demand and supply theory keessatti akkuma ilaalle there is a determinants of demand jenne kan nuti ilaalle determinants of demand for factors of production is immoo isaan kanadha. Isaan kana sirriitti when they are positively related, when they are negatively related maal akka isaan ta'an illee adda baafattanii beekuutu sinirra jira. Kan jedhu ergaa siniin dabarsachuu marraanii the market demand akkasuma demand and supply keessatti kanaan dura ilaalle ture market demand fi individual demand ilaalle ture. Now similar to that there is a market demand for a factor. The market demand for a variable input like the market demand for a commodity. Walma fakkaatu jechuudha. Market demand in commodity keessatti kan nuti ilaalle horizontally adding the individual demand gives us a market demand jennerra. It is the sum total of the individual firm's demand kasidha. However, in the case of productive input, the process of addition is not a simple horizontal assumption. Sababin isa inputin perfectly substitute wal ta'uu danda'ani. Pricing isaanii garagara. Itti fayyadamni isaaniis bifa garaagaraatiin waan ta'eef horizontally fakkeenyaa fi labor demand with capital demand wal bukkee horizontally ida'uu hin dandeenyu. This is because when all firms expand or contract simultaneously, the market price of the commodity changes, decrease and increase respectively. Decrease ta'uu danda'a, increase ta'uu danda'a. For instance, when wage rate falls, all firms tend to demand more labor. The increase in employment in turn leads to an increase in total output. Therefore, the market supply for the commodity produced shifts to the right. kana faana wal qabatanii deemu waan ta'eef akka commodity market horizontally add gochuun kun xiqqoo isheen ulfaataadha. Assume given fixed market demand, wage rate declines. Fixed market demand jira, wage rate immoo decline, and where this will reduce the price of a commodity. The decline in the price of the commodity further reduces the value of marginal product at all levels of employment. As a result, value of marginal product curve, the individual demand curve for a labor shifts to the left. Akka dirama ilaalletti jechuudha. Kabajamtoonni barattoonni akkasumas immoo kabajamtoonni dhimma kana barumsaaf fedhii godhatanii viidiyoo kana hanga dhumaatti dhaggeeffattan hundumtinuu guddaa galatoomaa isiniin jechaa obsaan waan nu dhaggeeffattaniif. Ammas immoo torbeetti aanurraatii hanga har'a chaaptarii kana fixuun xiqqoo ishee in ulfaata. Torbeetti aanu immoo the supply of labor in a perfectly competitive market kan jedhurraatii kaana. Kanaafuu supply of a labor hangammaatti demand of a labor in a perfectly competitive market kan jedhu ilaalle. The demand of a laboring akkamittiin profitiin of the firmin maximize akka inni gochuu danda'u. When we use a single variable input and a multiple variable input or many variable input, what would happen to the demand of the labor, about the wage of the labor, how to maximize their profits, kan jedhu kana walumaa gala ilaalleetu jirra. Ammoo the supply of labor immoo marginal cost of labor faana ilaalle yookiin immoo wage jennee diirama akkuma ilaalle keessatti how the supply of labor is determined in a perfectly competitive market, what are the determinants of the supply of labor fi kan kana fakkaatan walumaan ilaalla. Har'umaaf asirratti yoo nu ga'e baay'ee gaarii natti fakkaata. Waan dhaggeeffattaniif galatoomaa. Har'uma viidiyoo kana kan itti dhuftanii argitan gara fuulduraatti illee chaaptariitiin waan isiniif gadhiisnu koorsii adda addaa jechuudha. Akka isin qaqqabuuf notification isaa subscribe gochuudhaan maatii YouTube kanaa yoo taatan gaaffiis yoo qabaattan commentis yoo qabaattan wanti sirrachuu qabu jechuudha. Yoo commentii nuuf laattan commentiin keessan cimina keenya agarsiisaa kan nu cimsu isinuma waan ta'eef akkasumas immoo subscribe gootanii maatii ta'uudhaan hirmaannaa keessan illee akka cimsitan akka nu cimsitan afaan Ingiliffaaf afaan Oromoffaatiin bifa nuu galuu danda'uutiin ibsa isiniif laanna waan ta'eef barattoonni ammallee warri exit exaamiitiif of qopheessitan gara fuulduraatti exit exaamii warri fudhattanis akkasumas immoo fedhiima qabaattanii ikoonomiksii barachuudhaaf warri viidiyoo kana hordoftanis gara fuulduraatti maatii nu taatanii gaaffii fi yaada keessan illee akka nu eertan kabajaanan isin gaafadhaa. Asumarratti nu ga'a waan nu dhaggeeffattaniif galatoomaa. Hanga guyyaa biraa wal agarruutti mata duree biraatiin ulfaadhaan isiniin jedha.